Now that you're talking about that, we have that specific little clip in this very episode talking about keeping it hot. And it made me think of a Friends episode where Joey is like trying to turn up the heat in his apartment so that the models take off their clothes. Yeah, okay, you might know about it. And so, like, now I would be like, okay, that's gross. Like, why are we doing that? But at the time, people laughed and people loved it and it was a thing. So I feel like maybe it kind of goes to like time and place for that one also. And then I guess I'm wondering on the opposite side with the defense. I don't know, to your point, I don't know that these necessarily would boost the government's case, but could it potentially boost the defense's case in the way that, okay, he's just a partying kind of a guy and he invites people to the parties. We've seen the videos. He invited Ellen to the party or, talking to Conan about it and was very open that, okay, they're kind of wild. This is just the way that it is and it's all consensual. So could it be useful for the defense?
Well, I wanted to touch on the Friends episode. That was first. That was a very good point because I think even if we look back at movies from the 80s, they as the kids would say, the young kids, it was cringe. I mean, it's
Yeah.
cringe. With my kids, I have to have discussions. They were like, "Why was that funny? Why was that okay?" So I do think there is a change in society that we're becoming more aware with regard to the for the defense, whether these would be for the defense. I'm not so sure. I think even when you look at them now, you're kind of like you step back and say to yourself, like we had mentioned earlier, why didn't we really think this was an issue when it was initially said? Was there consent? I think, some of the videos we're talking about, and he admits in the video, there are various levels to the parties. So we kind of get insight into that the party, the Ellen clip that you're referring to, it gets into that he says, okay, it starts off and the party is this type of party, and then the party kind of escalates into something else as it goes throughout the night, which the testimony that we're hearing in the trial kind of supports that there was that evolution and that he had different types of parties. So I'm not so sure that that's going to support the consent end, because we also have this underlying that he wasn't necessarily talking about, that the allegation that he was drugging these people. So, if you're drugging someone and they're not aware of being drugged, for instance, you have a problem with consent on the defense side.